Okay, so I've got an Apple II emulator here, and I'm just going to show you quickly what it was like to program in BASIC on the Apple II. So it's not going to be a full course or anything like that. I'm just going to do a hello world, basically, a little bit more than a hello world, and we'll take it from there. So what I've got is I've got AppleWin here, and I've got a fairly recent version, and I've got it set up to emulate an Apple IIe. Okay, and that's about it. So just an Apple IIe, and I've got a disk in the drive or a disk image in the drive called master.disk, master.dsk, and it's a formatted disk that comes with the emulator, so you can just boot the emulator and it loads it straight away. And I've also got a ROM. I had to add a ROM as well, so an Apple IIe.ROM, and you've got to find that file yourself. It's not included with AppleWin because Apple are still claiming copyright over computers that haven't been sold for over 20 years or 30 years. So, yeah, good on you, Apple. And so anyway, basically what you do is you boot the emulator, and that's taking you to what is the DOS prompt on an Apple II, and it's actually the BASIC prompt as well. So BASIC is already loaded, and you can catalog the disk. Okay, so there's what's on the disk so far, just a hello world program. And if we load hello and list it, you'll see there's nothing there. So when you format a disk on an Apple II, it just provides a dummy or an empty hello world program to load automatically when you boot the disk. So the hello world program can actually be quite sophisticated. It can load a menu and load all the files on the disk so that you can press A to run the first file, B to run the second file, C to run the third file, or whatever you like. So you can have fairly sophisticated menus and things, but this one's just a default hello world program. So there's nothing there behind it. It's just an empty program. Let's write some code. 10, print. Hello Moose, or whatever you want to print. 20, we'll do the standard hello world program. Go to 10. Okay, so list. There's our program there. We can save it to disk, save Moose, and then we can run it because it's still in memory. Saving it doesn't wipe it from memory, it's still there. Okay, and if we type new, then there's nothing in memory anymore. Okay, so we want to load it back from disk, load Moose, and then list, and there it is there. Okay, so that's basically how you program on an Apple II with BASIC. It's all at the command line. There's no full screen editor for your program. So let's say I wanted to change that program so it didn't say hello Moose anymore. It said hello Mike. Okay, I could either type out the whole line again, print hello Mike, and you can see I've been careful there to give it a line number of 10 as well. So this new line number of 10 will replace the old one. Okay, so the old one's gone, hello Moose is gone, now it's hello Mike. So if I list the program, hello Mike. Okay, and if I save it as Moose again, it'll overwrite it on disk, and I can still list it, it's still in memory. Okay, but now if I type new, nothing's there, load Moose, and it'll be the new version with the hello Mike because that's what I saved. So if you didn't want to retype long lines of code, if you had to edit them and didn't want to change and didn't want to retype the whole line, which could have had many statements in it, and long bits of data, you could go into edit mode. Okay, and let's give that a try. So you first click the escape key, and that puts you into movement mode for moving the cursor. Then you can use the I and the K and the J and the M key. So you can move to wherever you like on screen. I'm going right out here, see? And I'm just in movement mode at the moment. And what you want to do is get to the line of code where you're wanting to edit, and go right to the very start of it. Be careful. Go right to the very start. Press the escape key to get out of movement mode, and you're back in now basic mode, if you like. And then use the arrow keys to go across. So you got the left and right arrow keys. So go across to the arrow key, and then you can change that to whatever you like, and close your quote, and it should accept it. Yes. So if I list the program now, you'll see it's now changed to hello Moose. So going through that again, press the escape key to go into movement mode. Press the I key a couple of times to get to there. Press the J key to get to the far left because you've got to include the line number. Press the escape key to go out of movement mode. And then you can use the right arrow key to copy the whole line up to where you want to copy. And you can just start typing what you like. World, Moose, hello, whatever you want to do. Okay, so I've typed all that now. So I've changed the line to have quite a bit more in it. And there it is there. And you can see it's wrapped onto the next line. So I just put the hello down here. So the string doesn't end there. It's just the code wraps around on there when it's displayed. Okay, so we can now save that program. Save Moose. and then run it, and of course it's just going to go hello world, moose, hello. Control C to break out of it. And that's basically it for programming an Apple II in BASIC. So it had a pretty rich BASIC included with the Apple II. There was, and also, or before we go on, let's say you had a long program. So there was 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 lines of code in there. And if you wanted to insert a line of code between 10 and 20, maybe you type 15. Okay, print wow. So that would put another line of code in there. And let's say you want to put some comments in there between 10 and 15. So maybe you choose line 13 just to split it in the middle. Rem, hello world program by Moose. Okay, so if we list that, now we've got a comment in there. So the rem statement is just a remark or a comment. And you can see pretty quickly you'll run out of gaps between the line numbers. So what you had to do then, there was a renumber program or renumber utility you could run. And you could go renum from 10 by 10 and so on, and renumber your program that's currently in memory. Okay, so there was a renumber command you could use if you wanted to. It's not on my disk at the moment, so I'm not going to be able to run it. But so there was no full screen editor for basic programs. You basically had to edit them as a line editor program. So if you want to change line number 15, you could press the escape key and go up, and then J, and then go back, press the escape key again to get out of movement mode, go across the arrow keys and go wow, and change it to whatever you like, and then hit enter. Okay, so now it's got the wow exclamation points. So it was pretty fiddly, pretty awkward. If you had a really long program, like hundreds of lines of code, you could list just part of the program, 10 to 20, so that would list lines 10 to 20. Okay, and then if you want to list lines 100 to 200, you could do that as well, and so on. So if you had a really big program, you'd have to list it in parts, and then check it in parts, and then edit it with that escape by JKM trick, and so on. It was really quite painful. You couldn't just move to a line and type in a new code or overwrite the code that was there. You had to be very conscious what mode you're in. Okay, and of course there was if statements and things and for loops and all sorts of things, but we might as well do a quick for loop then. Let's do a quick for loop. Save moose. So let's do a 20 for I equals 1 to 10, and we'll do a 30, go to 10, and then a 40, next I. So we've done a little for loop there for I equals 1 to 10, and for each time through that loop we'll go to 10, and then we'll list that and see what we're doing. So this is actually a pretty dangerous little program now, because we're going to go to 10, so we're never going to run the next I. So it's just going to be looping through from Y equals 1 to 10, start at 1, and then going to 10 and going back through again. So it's not actually going to have the effect we wanted. So what we want to do is move this line of code here, the hello world line of code, so it's inside the loop. So we'll get rid of that go to 10, and we'll make it so this print hello world moose hello is inside the loop. So let's do that. So let's type 30. I'm going to replace line 30 with, I'm going into escape mode. So I'll press the space bar followed by the escape key. Okay, followed by the I key. Whoops. Get rid of those. Get rid of all that. Let's do that again. 30 space escape. I to get up that line. Press the escape key again to get out of move mode. Use the arrow key to go right. Just go right like that, and just hit enter, and then go list. And you'll see that our print statement's now inside the loop. You'll see there's a whole bunch of spaces here, because when we use the arrow key to go across, even though that's a line wrap in BASIC, all these spaces here and all those spaces up in between there were read in by the by the right cursor movement. Okay, so let's try and strip those out, and we'll strip them out using our escape key sequence. Okay, so we won't retype the line, we'll strip them out using our escape keys. So I'm pressing the escape key, and then going I, J, to get back to the start of the line. Press the I key to go out of escape mode. Press Ks. And you can see it really was pretty finicky. Okay, so let's do it again. Escape key to go into move mode. I, J, press the escape key. Okay, now we're going to use our right arrow key to go across. Okay, and I want to stop after the H. Press the escape key to go back into move mode. and go down a line, which is the M key, and then J to go left to the start of a low. Press the escape key to leave movement mode, and use the right arrow key again to get to the end of that bit of quotes, and hit the enter key. So now we should see it much better. Okay, so now when we run our program, now we're still at line 10 now. Let's get rid of line 10. 10. Okay, let's get rid of line 10, just putting 10 and then nothing. There's our program. Okay, so now our program consists of wow, followed by I equals 1 to 10, print hello world moves hello. Okay, so when this prints out to the screen, it should be no gap between the H and the hello. So let's run it and see how it looks. And there it is. So everything's looking pretty good. So as you can see, programming the Apple II was fairly tricky. And typing in long programs and working on long programs and changing long programs was very laborious. You didn't have a nice full screen editor. There wasn't even anything as nice as Notepad, okay, that came with Windows 3 or Windows 1. Okay, so Apple II days, very basic. Now, there were other languages for the Apple II, and there was Merlin C, and there was Pascal as well, so you could program Pascal programs. And those language tools or languages came with IDEs, and they did include full screen editors. So you could, it was much better than programming in BASIC from the command line. Okay, so Merlin C and Pascal were brilliant, and they really let you push the Apple II really far. So much better than BASIC, but I'm just showing you BASIC for today. If there's any interest, I can show you Pascal and Merlin C if you want in the in the future, or assembler language programming, one of the macro assemblers in Pascal for Apple II, and so on. And we'll save that to the disk. Save Moose, catalog, and you might be seeing I'm typing catalog all the time, and there was no shortcut for cat, okay, or dir. None of those worked. It was catalog, so you had to get pretty quick at typing catalog. But of course, there were extensions you could load to the Apple DOS, and they would let you use abbreviations like CAT to do a catalogue of the disk. Okay, but I haven't got those loaded at the moment. I've just got the plain old Apple II loaded. Okay, so anyway, that's an introduction to programming BASIC on the Apple II. I hope that was useful. Thanks for watching.